Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Laura Nelson from A-List Accounting, and we're going to talk about the Affordable Care Act and what that means to you around tax time. Laura, welcome back to the show. Yeah, it's a real pleasure to see you too. Because you always bring good news.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the things we should think about when it comes to tax time and the Affordable Care Act?
Basically, you're going to first start out with more paperwork.
Naturally.
More questions, because, you know, you've got to now prove that you had insurance, or, of course, tell them that you didn't have insurance.
So the IRS is the mechanism in which the government is using to make sure everyone has insurance.
Correct.
So now if you have insurance, you have to say, here's my insurance. This is what I have.
Correct. And identify where it was, basically. And then if you don't have insurance, then you get a tax as well.
Or a fine,
Yes,
which they
it's
call
a
the
fine.
tax.
Correct.
Which, so you don't have insurance, just to make you feel better, they fine you, which the Supreme Court has called a tax now.
Correct.
So basically, your government is forcing you to buy a product, otherwise you have to pay the tax.
That is correct.
Is it cheaper for some people just to pay the fine?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
And who would that be? What we call those indestructible 20-somethings?
Oh, not necessarily. Depending on, like, your middle class, you know, they have a family, they're making around $40,000 together, but then they've got to pay, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 a month on insurance for a family of 4 to 5.
Wow.
And you just can't, you know, so paying a percentage of that at year end is cheaper.
And that would be an actual rate for some people? Wow.
Yeah.
That seems pretty steep.
Yeah, because, I mean, depending on what bracket you fall under, I mean, you've got the marketplace. So, I mean, you can test it out there and see what your rate is. You might be $700 on there, depending on qualifications there. So, you know, you just got to shop around more or less. I mean.
So what are some of the other pitfalls? Say you get this insurance from the government, and you make under whatever that threshold is.
Correct.
To get a reduced rate. And then you do your taxes and you find out, oops, I make that
more.
little. I made more than I thought.
Yep.
What happens then?
They'll now compare the two. They'll compare your tax return and they'll compare your marketplace information, and they'll get their money back from where they gave you a credit.
It just gets better and better all the time, Laura
Yes.
Nelson. You're just like a little ray of sunshine here on the Waking Up with Don show. I need to go to a commercial break to recuperate from all this. But on the other side of that, let's talk about what people can do to avoid these pitfalls.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back with Laura Nelson from A-List Accounting after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Laura Nelson from A-List Accounting, and we're talking about Obamacare, otherwise known as the Affordable Care Act. And I guess the best tip you can give people at tax time, and even before tax time, is to be honest.
Is to be honest. Yes. Fill out the marketplace information correctly to the best of your ability, so that you won't get, you know, hit at year end.
Yes, you don't get screwed. Unbelievable. And a lot of people are. Now, what if you're not that savvy with computers? What if you're an elderly person and, you know, you can't go out to the marketplace? Or
there's insurance agents out there in which can assist them and either put them on the marketplace or give them a plan of theirs. So, I mean, there's different avenues to take.
So you really have to shop around.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
So you have to have insurance or you get fined.
Correct.
And if you underreport your earnings and you get the, what did you call it?
It's the credit that
the credit,
they give you,
the
reduction.
healthcare credit, deduction or whatever it is,
Right.
and you find out you made more money,
Right.
you've got to pay all that back. So basically, it's a big mess. You've got to do quite a few forms now. You got to do another form. You got to report your health insurance to the IRS. You got to be very careful when receiving that credit for health care.
Yes.
It just sounds like it's wrought with peril for normal people.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it's not fun, but
no, it's not
part
fun.
of it.
It's just another little wrinkle that we have to deal with in our lives. And thank God we have people like you and insurance agents to kind of pilot us through this mess.
Walk you through it. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Laura. And if people want to get in touch with you, we can find you on Facebook.
Yes. Facebook, A-List Accounting.
A-List Accounting, Laura Nelson. We'll be right back.